Next level is a term commonly used to describe people who are interesting, innovative, and inspiring. Join us as we recognize how these incredible people are taking it to the next level.
I thought I would share why I've been nominated to be the next level through a personal story, if that would be okay with everybody here. In return for that, though, I'm going to ask you just to take a moment. Just imagine you're about 4 years old. The doctors realize you're partially deaf, explaining why you have a language all of your own, one that your mother could barely understand. How would your life be different today if it took 14 surgeries and thousands of hours of speech therapy just so you could speak English? If you would like me, all you would have is a severe speech impediment and a fear, a fear of speaking to anyone. You see, as I grew, I realized that I had a fear, and I would just get scared in front of a group of people. In high school, I realized something else, that I had a choice. And I made my choice. I chose to be invisible, rarely seen, never heard, hide within the crowd. It was interesting psychology for networking and later on in life. It wasn't until I was 17 that I actually woke up. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I sat up in bed and I realized I am scared, terrified to speak to you. You see, fear controlled my life. Fear prevented me from living the life that I am meant to live. But that doesn't sound right, does it? Who here has a goal or a desire that you're yet to achieve? That's what I thought. Why? What is holding you back? When I asked myself that same question, I remember this one guy. Maybe you know the type. His name was McLaren, had the gift of the gab. All the guys loved him, all the girls loved him, all the guys wanted to be just like him. He was my oldest friend, and I thought, who better to be my mentor? So I asked him for help. He stepped out that door, put his arm around me, said, "Come with me, young grasshopper. We're going to a party. All right, we're going to go to a party. There's going to be people. There's going to be women. There's going to be people, women." My anxiety went nuts. If you've ever been in that situation, I very quickly changed my mind. I would turn around and I was walking away, but I made a choice. And I had an accountability partner. And we were going whether I liked it or not. But I was right. When I got there, I got scared. I got shy. I instantly started to hide every time we went out. But my friend, he wouldn't allow it. See, I'd asked for help, and he was there to support me. So he started telling me people all kinds of stuff that nobody knew, except for my oldest friend, is that as a young boy, I had a dream. My dream? To be a magician. All those years that I hid from the world, I was up in my room, honing my skills, learning my craft, waiting for the day that I had an audience. That was the day that my audience came to me. And they wanted to see magic. You'll notice I didn't speak. Back in those days, I barely looked up, but I performed, because I found my confidence outside of my comfort zone. So if someone was to ask, what makes me next level? It's because I work with performers, business professionals, everybody I connect with. I try to create a giant mastermind to identify 3 things. 1, and I'll ask you here today, what are you scared of? 2, how could you help yourself? Is there a knowledge you could gain? A course you could take? Maybe there's an amazing organization that'll support you along the way. But most importantly is number 3, where is your confidence? Because if you can leverage off your confidence, see, this is one thing I have learned. is that you have a skill and ability that you can do better than anybody else. See, we all have a personal story. We all have a reason why we shouldn't succeed in life. I'm sure we all have 3, 4, 5, 6 different stories we could all tell. Okay, finish up. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Well, now do this. I challenge each of you to find your confidence outside your comfort zone, because only you can take that step. So make that choice. Live life your way. Which leads me to why I selected my next individual, who I think is playing at a next level, because I follow passion. And I have nominated a Samantha Moss from Moss Works Photography, because when I saw her photo and I asked her a question about it, it wasn't how she answered, but the experience you could see in her face and the passion you saw in her face, which is why I'd like you to join me in welcoming Samantha Moss. Thank you.
Great job. Hello. I'm going to piggyback a little bit and talk a bit about fear. Growing up, I actually had a debilitating fear of public speaking. Hasn't gone away that much. So much so that I would actually get panic attacks. And for 4 years throughout high school, I avoided every single presentation. Literally. I would take failing grades rather than get up in front of my class and speak. And I told myself, actually, sort of as a mantra, that once I was done high school, once I was done those 4 years, I would never have to deal with it again. I wouldn't have to go and speak in front of people because I would be an adult, and adults didn't have to. Teenage mentality, right? So again, my name's Samantha Moss. My business is Moss Works Photography. I actually originally started out with Trent University doing social media communications type stuff until they had me go out on a couple of photo assignments. And once I did, it started to snowball. Within 8 to 10 months, I was doing this full time. Much like public speaking, it was never the plan. I had no training. I didn't intend to be a photographer. I dabbled in it because I loved it. But who actually makes a job doing that? It didn't seem practical. It didn't seem safe. And the fear was that it wouldn't work. And yet here I am. So I think what I've learned over the last year since registering my business is that fear is kind of a present, reoccurring theme in my life, but it's important to do what you want to do anyway. Make a decision that what you want to do is more important than the fear or the insecurity that's going to be holding you back, that's going to be there regardless, and I think all of us can relate to. And do it if it's important to you. Another thing that I've learned over the last year is finding your creativity. Anything from your own personal creative brand to just expressing yourself day to day. And it wasn't actually until last week when I was speaking with a mentor of mine that I realized that I was bringing this into not just my work, but how I present myself to other people. So anything like this, oh, thank you, is sort of what I wear to any photo shoot, and I tend to stand out because of it. And it's helped me a lot with affiliating my brand, my photos, which are really colorful and vibrant, to my day-to-day person. So I'm not saying all of you should go out and buy a bright yellow dress, but find what makes you stand out and what works for you, where you can be creative day to day and where you can be memorable in situations like these.
Thank you for tuning into Next Level. Recognize your next level experiences in the community by sharing them on our Facebook page or by including us on Twitter at NextLevelPTBO. To watch the full-length videos, click one of the images on the screen.